You won't believe the shocking discovery they did in the Congo that have the world on edge. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, located in Central Africa, is the second largest country on the continent by land area. Not only is it vast, but it also boasts a rich history that remains largely unknown to many. From monstrous beings to a mysterious monolith, here are 20 shocking discoveries in Congo that have terrified the world. Number 20. Era of deadly viruses. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is considered the world's richest country in terms of wealth and natural resources, with its untapped deposits possibly amounting to $24 trillion. The Congo has more than enough to keep its economy afloat, and yet the nation is plagued with entrenched political conflicts, instability, high malnutrition rates, poor education, and illness. One of the most terrifying things that this country has seen over the past decade is rising health problems. Time and time again, outbreaks of malaria and the notorious Ebola virus have been a recurring nightmare for the Congo. You see, the Congo Basin is one of the most biodiverse areas on the planet, which sounds great, but it also means it's a hotbed for viruses capable of jumping from animals to humans. Once a virus starts spreading, the challenges multiply in a nation where most are living below the poverty line. Diseases are harder to combat. What's more, the healthcare system in Congo has been stretched thin by decades of conflict and instability. This means there's often insufficient medical staff, facilities, or equipment to handle outbreaks effectively. When a virus hits, it hits hard because the system isn't equipped to contain it or care for all those infected. With most settlements and homes being isolated from the rest, it's harder to reach them, leaving communities helpless as pathogens and diseases run their course unchecked. Number 19. Mokombembe, the living dinosaur. One of the most talked about creatures that's allegedly living in the Congo Basin is a dinosaur. According to local legends and eyewitness accounts, deep within the Congo wilderness is the Mokombembe, a creature that resembles a sauropod with a massive long neck. As far as science is concerned, this creature should have gone extinct millions of years ago. Descriptions of the creature include a long neck, a vegetarian diet, and a preference for dwelling in the rivers and lakes of the Congo. Since the early 20th century, numerous expeditions have ventured into Mokombembe's supposed habitat armed with cameras and recording equipment. Many have tried to be the first people to finally obtain tangible evidence supporting this creature's existence. Yet despite their efforts, conclusive proof remains elusive. Some people believe this creature doesn't exist in the first place, with some suggesting that perhaps the legend of Mokombembe is rooted in a simple optical illusion. It might simply be that the nation located in the heart of the African continent found itself at the center of a conspiracy surrounding dinosaurs. With the boom of fossil discoveries in the 19th century, perhaps people found the need to weave a compelling myth about a living dinosaur. The legend of the Mokombembe is often traced back to a 1909 book called Beasts and Men, written by showman and zoologist Carl Hagenbeck. Decades since the book's creation, we continue to find evidence about the existence of this cryptid. Number 18. Spiny-backed chimpanzee. Deep in the Congo, it was said that a bizarre species of chimpanzees existed. According to local legends and sparse anecdotal reports, this chimpanzee has distinctive spiny protrusions along its back. Yes, you heard that right, spines on a chimpanzee. This peculiar feature, more akin to something you'd expect on a reptile, made this creature one of the cryptids that allegedly lurk in the Congo. Unlike most chimps, the spiny-backed chimpanzee is said to be more aggressive and larger. These characteristics, combined with its spine-like features, make it sound like something straight out of a prehistoric era, don't you think? But what could be the explanation for such an unusual creature? Is it possible that these are exaggerated sightings of a known species? Or is there truly an undiscovered primate hidden in the depths of the Congo? Most people believe that the spiny-backed chimpanzee is just a cryptid, but with persistent eyewitness accounts, the belief in the existence of these creatures continues. Number 17. $500,000 mask. This mask might look ordinary, but this ritual mask was sold for $500,000. This otherworldly mask is a tribal African mask, and for collectors, those are worth their weight in gold. For decades, these masks have been sought after by artifact collectors and museums all over the Western world. For the locals of Congo, however, these masks are significant for their role in rituals known as Quib in both the Luba and Sonya languages. These masks are significant in Congo cosmology. They play a huge role in interpreting the message of the skies and can help teach the cycles of plants and animal breeding patterns. It's even said that these masks are imbued with magical supernatural powers. In fact, to this day, these items are so revered that women and children are forbidden to see them outside rituals. These masks were solely crafted by people who specialized in creating them, and the skill was only passed down in specific families. Otherworldly powers or not, These masks are significant in the nation's history and culture. Number 16. Kongamato. Zambia, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of Congo all believe in the existence of the Kongamato, one of Africa's most chilling legends. This creature is said to be similar to the pterosaur, a beast that roamed our planet and terrorized the skies millions of years ago. The name Kongamato means breaker of boats in the local languages, a nod to its reputation for attacking canoes and those who travel on rivers. Imagine you're navigating the winding rivers of Central Africa when suddenly a creature with a wingspan of 4 to 7 feet swoops down upon you. It's said to have a fierce reddish-black color with skin like a bat and a beak full of teeth. This creature's existence first appeared in detail in the account of an explorer named Frank H. Melland in the 1920s, who documented local legends about this fearsome creature in his book, In Witch-Bound Africa. According to Melland and later explorers, sightings of the Kongamato were taken very seriously by the local tribes who recognized it in illustrations of pterosaurs and claimed it was a creature they had encountered in remote areas. Today, some people believe that rather than a living pterosaur, this creature is a bat or perhaps even a shoebill stork, a sizable African bird with a prehistoric appearance. Yet, many continue to believe in this creature's existence to this day. Number 15. 50-foot-long Congo snake. In 1959, Colonel of the Belgian Air Force, Remy van Leeuwen, was stationed at the Kamina Air Base in Belgian-occupied Congo. That year, he saw something that forever changed his life. While returning from a mission via helicopter, he saw a large snake in the wilderness, and by large, we mean massive, with the alleged creature being over 50 feet long with a 2-foot-wide by 3-foot-long triangular head. With its size alone, it would have easily been the largest creature in the country's wilderness, if it even existed in the first place. According to Colonel van Leeuwen, the snake had dark green and brown top scales and a white underside. This creature seems similar to most snakes except for its size. Van Leeuwen, upon seeing the reptile, allegedly asked the pilot to turn the helicopter around and pass over the giant creature once more, perhaps to make sure that he actually saw what he thought he saw. The pilot obliged and headed back. It was then that the serpent reared up the front 10 feet of its body and head, as if preparing to strike the helicopter if it went closer. Alarmed, Van Leeuwen ordered the pilot to fly away from the location and resume the journey, recognizing that angering the beast could lead to some serious repercussions. This was the last time the snake was seen. Today, some believe that Van Leeuwen saw an oversized African rock python. However, the creature could have been sizable, but Van Leeuwen might have exaggerated its size even more. Number 14. Mahamba. From a massive snake, another giant allegedly resides in the wilderness of Congo, the Mahamba. Local lore describes this behemoth as a gigantic crocodile up to 50 feet long. Yes, you heard that right, 50 feet. The Mahamba is rumored to be not just enormous but also terrifyingly aggressive, capable of capsizing boats and swallowing humans whole. Again, the Congo River is a place where reality is strange. After all, it's true that this region is home to some of the most diverse and little understood species on the planet. This makes it the center of both scientific interest and mythical imagination. So, the idea of a giant crocodile isn't as far-fetched as it might seem in a place known for its hidden depths and uncharted territories. That's why the legend of the Mahamba continues to persist to this day. But could the Mahamba be a real undiscovered species, or is it perhaps a case of mistaken identity? Some suggest that the Mahamba could be an enormous specimen of a known crocodile species, or maybe even a relic population of prehistoric crocodilians thought to be extinct. Meanwhile, others theorize it might be an exaggerated description of the Nile crocodile, which can indeed reach impressive sizes and is known for its aggressive behavior. Regardless, it's chilling to think that there's even a smidgen of possibility that this monster exists on our planet. Number 13. Billy apes. Nestled in the dense forests of the Democratic Republic of Congo, specifically in the Billy Forest, are creatures known as the Billy apes. For years, the existence or non-existence of these creatures has sparked debates and puzzled researchers. Researchers in the early 2000s first reported the existence of these creatures. What made them so special is the fact that they seem to have the characteristics of gorillas and chimpanzees. The Billy apes are notably larger than your typical chimpanzees. They've been described as having the stature and some behaviors more akin to gorillas, yet genetically, they're chimps. This unusual combination has led some locals and explorers to refer to them as giant chimpanzees or even lion killers. Researchers also noted that, unlike most chimpanzees that are more tree dwellers, Billy apes spend a significant amount of time on the ground, much like gorillas. They're also known for their nocturnal activities, which is quite unusual for chimpanzees. They're also said to hunt and consume large prey, such as small antelopes, which is not typical chimp behavior. With their remote habitat, much about the Billy apes remains a mystery. Their habitat has protected the billy apes from extensive human contact, and to this day, researchers are still studying this elusive species. Number 12. Versailles of the jungle. Battleite was once a small village on the very edge of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It was barely mentioned on most maps, and before its name could be known by many, it soon turned into ruin. In the 1970s, the village caught the eye of Mobutu Sese Seko, the then president of Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mobutu, coming from the nearby village of Battleite, decided to transform Battleite into what he called the Versailles in the jungle. Amid a region characterized by modest traditional lifestyles, Mobutu built lavish palaces and state-of-the-art facilities. He flew in marble from Italy and crystals from France. In fact, this small village once featured an airport that could handle Concorde jets. Under Mobutu, the town flourished as a hub of political power and wealth, and yet beneath this development were the horrors going on with the rest of the country. With Battleite taking up most of the country's budget, the rest were struggling. Mobutu's regime was marked by corruption and mismanagement, and eventually, this led to national economic decline. By 1997, Mobutu's rule ended in a coup, leading Battleite to slowly be forgotten, becoming a remote ruin. Number 11. Declining population. Kordofan giraffes are one of the lesser-known subspecies and are found in the more arid regions of Central Africa, including the expanse of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Kordofan giraffes are distinguished by their lighter and less distinct spot patterns than other giraffe subspecies. These spots are leafy or vine-like and can be quite sparse, allowing them to blend seamlessly into the drier and scrubby landscapes they inhabit. A little fun fact, no two giraffes have the same pattern. Each giraffe's coat is as unique as a human fingerprint. Unfortunately, these creatures are at risk of disappearing. As of 2016, there were only 38 Kordofan giraffes in the nation. In years to come, we might see yet another species disappear from our planet. Number 10. Giant spiders of the Congo. We've seen a giant snake and a giant crocodile, but there's another giant that allegedly lurks in the Congo, a giant arachnid, namely the JBA fofi. The legend of JBA fofi, which translates to giant spider in Lingala, a local language of the Congo, describes a creature of nightmares for those of us who are even slightly arachnophobic. According to local folklore and some hair-raising stories from travelers and natives, JBA fofi is said to be as large as a young forest elephant, with leg spans reaching up to 4 or 5 feet wide. Reports and anecdotes describe the JBA fofi as having a brown or yellow color, with a potent venom and a taste for small game. The existence of this massive arachnid can be traced back to the pygmy tribes of the Congo, who speak of these giant spiders as part of their oral history. They tell tales of JBA fofi burrowing into the ground or living in burrows covered by a leafy canopy, making them incredibly hard to spot in the dense jungle. Now, you might ask, is there any truth to these tales? Well, the JBA fofi is often categorized under cryptozoology. With no clear photograph or convincing proof, the JBA fofi continues to be in between reality and fiction. Number 9. Casai Rex. The Casai Rex is said to be a gigantic reptilian predator lurking in the remote regions of the Congo, specifically in the Kasai Valley. Imagine something that looks like a T-Rex stepping right out of the Cretaceous period into the 21st century. Eyewitness accounts portray the Casai Rex as a being with a massive body, powerful legs, and jaws strong enough to crush any creature it encounters. One of the most notable accounts includes a photograph from 1932, reportedly showing this giant predator feasting on a rhinoceros. While this photo has sparked intrigue and speculation, it's widely considered a hoax or a case of severe misidentification, possibly of a giant monitor lizard or another known predator. Despite the skepticism surrounding its existence, the Casai Rex continues to be a popular subject among cryptozoologists and adventurers. After all, the possible existence of such a formidable creature gives them the thrill of discovering a new species. While researchers firmly believe that the Casai Rex is nothing but a creature that exists in fiction, the hunt for this living dinosaur continues to this day. Number 8. The Darkest River. The Ruki River, a major tributary of the Congo River, winds its way through one of the most biodiverse and complex ecosystems on the planet, the rainforests of the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, that's not the only reason why the Ruki is renowned. You see, it's one of the darkest waters on our planet. Unlike other bodies of water, the Ruki absorbs rather than reflects light. This darkness is due to the high concentration of organic matter and tannins that leach from the dense forest floor into the waters, creating a deep, almost black coloration that's quite eerie. But despite its darkness, this river is a vital artery for the communities and wildlife along its banks. The Ruki is teeming with life despite how it looks. In fact, It's a haven for countless species of fish, some of which are found nowhere else in the world, as well as a critical water source for animals like forest elephants, leopards, and an array of bird species. The river's mysterious appearance has also woven it into the region's folklore, making the Rukki among the most significant bodies of water on the continent. Unfortunately, in recent years, the health of the Rukki River has become a concern. Like many parts of the Congo Basin, it faces threats from human activity. Hopefully, conservation efforts will be enough to stop the disappearance of this river. Number 7. Mysterious Monolith. In early 2021, a shiny metallic monolith, similar to those that have been popping up around the world from Utah to Romania, appeared in the Bandal commune of Kinshasa. It garnered a negative reaction from the locals who thought the monolith was alien technology or a national threat. Within days of its appearance, the monolith was torn down by a group of residents. But why such a drastic reaction? The answer lies in a mix of local beliefs and the tense atmosphere of uncertainty in Kinshasa. Some residents and local media suggested that the monolith could be an otherworldly object or even an unfavorable omen. Videos circulated on social media showed people beating the monolith with sticks and eventually setting it on fire. It's believed that the monoliths were the work of an art group. If this really is the case, they should probably refrain from installing these suspicious creations after this incident. Number 6. Nisi and Kandi. Nisi and Kandi statues often claimed they feel malicious energy emitted by these statues. With nails and eerie faces, it's no wonder why most people find these statues and figures creepy. However, these are deeply embedded in Congolese lore. Historically, Nisi and Kandi are spiritual statues and containers used by the Congo people who live in the regions now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, and the Republic of Congo. Nisi refers to a spirit or the sacred medicines and objects that house spirits. These objects are believed to be inhabited by spirits or mystical powers, which can be called upon for various purposes such as healing, protection, or solving disputes. Often depicted as wooden figures bristling with nails and blades, Nkandi figures are not as intimidating as they might first appear. Instead, they're considered powerful protectors. Each nail or blade in the Nkandi represents a vow, a sealed agreement, or a resolved dispute. When a nail is hammered into the Nkandi, it's believed to awaken and activate its spirit, compelling it to act upon the issue, seeking justice, warding off evil, or enforcing a contract. With that being said, those who try to break these vows are at the mercy of the spirit's wrath. So, the next time you come across these statues, you're better off treating them with respect. Now it's time for today's topic. Deep within the heart of the Congo Rainforest, in the remote and largely unexplored region of the Ituri Forest, a team of scientists led by Dr. Marcus Reynolds made a discovery that would shock the world. While on an expedition to study the biodiversity of the region, they stumbled upon a small, isolated tribe unlike any other known to humanity. These individuals, appearing to be humanoid in form but with distinct, otherworldly features, had elongated heads with ridges and large, expressive eyes. Their skin, marked with peculiar patterns, hinted at adaptations unknown to modern science. The tribe, which Dr. Reynolds tentatively named the Ekani, seemed to live in harmony with their lush, dense surroundings, displaying advanced knowledge of local flora and fauna. The scientists were initially met with caution but soon gained the tribe's trust through gestures and the sharing of food. The Ekani communicated in a language unlike any recorded, filled with melodic tones and complex sounds. Their physical appearance and unique culture raised numerous questions. Were they a lost branch of human evolution? A tribe affected by a rare genetic mutation? As the team documented their findings, they also uncovered ancient artifacts and cave paintings that hinted at the tribe's long and mysterious history. This extraordinary discovery in the depths of the Congo rainforest challenges our understanding of human evolution and raises profound questions about the secrets still hidden in Earth's most remote corners. The world watches in awe as more information about the enigmatic Ekani tribe comes to light. However, not everyone is convinced by this discovery. Some skeptics argue that the Ekani tribe is a hoax, suggesting that the images and videos circulating online were fabricated to create viral news. Critics claim that such extraordinary discoveries are often sensationalized or manufactured for publicity, casting doubt on the authenticity of the Ekani tribe and urging caution until further verification. Number 5. Supply chain from hell. Your phone, computer, and electric vehicles all have one thing in common: cobalt. Cobalt is a key element in lithium-ion batteries, which power a vast array of devices and vehicles in our daily lives. As the world shifts towards renewable energy and electric cars, the demand for cobalt is soaring. That's good news for the world's leading supplier of cobalt, which, as you might have already guessed, is none other than the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Supplying more than 60% of the world's cobalt supply, the Congo is the leading nation in the production of this metal. It's good for the nation's economy, but beneath the statistics are people working in a supply chain from hell. Mining cobalt involves a lot of artisanal miners, individuals in small groups who mine without much formal structure. These artisanal mining operations can be extremely dangerous. Miners work in precarious conditions without adequate safety equipment or regulations. The tunnels are shallow and can collapse, and the health risks from prolonged exposure to cobalt dust are severe. Yet, Congolese people often touch cobalt with their bare hands and breathe it in and day out. But that's not the end of it. It would have been a thread of hope if these people exposed to toxic cobalt dust could reap the fruits of their labor. Despite cobalt's high value on the global market, the miners themselves see very little of this wealth. They're often paid minimally, and the local communities surrounding the mines benefit only slightly from the region's mineral wealth. They bear the brunt of their land's destruction, they bear the cross for obtaining the material, and yet they reap more hazards than benefits. This situation has sparked ethical questions for companies and consumers. As global demand for cobalt grows, so does the pressure on the supply chains to ensure that cobalt is sourced responsibly. Fortunately, there are movements and efforts underway to improve the situation. Organizations and some companies are working to establish more responsible mining practices in the DRC. Number 4. The Cave of Agonizing Death. The Cave of Agonizing Death is a cavern described by explorer Attilio Gatti. While exploring the expanse of Africa in the 1920s, he often heard tales about this cavern, a secret cave only known by the locals as Kina in the native language. This cavern is the Cave of Agonizing Death. It was said that local sorcerers had used this pit to punish those who displeased them. The locals claimed that no single soul that had descended within it had emerged back. Gatti saw this as a challenge. He tried to find this cave, and after exploring dozens, he finally found the one that locals called Kina. He successfully climbed down into the cave and found out that it wasn't as intimidating or as dangerous as he thought. But when he tried to climb back up, he couldn't reach the rope. Luckily, with the help of a native, Gatti got out of the cavern, but not without the natives giving him a stern warning for risking his life and challenging the locals' belief in the cavern's wrath. Number 3. The Vibranium Stone. Did you know that there's a stone that can be used to power a light bulb? Sounds like something straight out of a fictional story, doesn't it? However, over the past several years, several of these vibranium, or electrically charged stones have allegedly been found across Africa, including the Congo. Clips of these stones being used to power up electric devices have spread online, and there are many claims about this resource being charged with both electric and magical powers. But is there any truth to these claims? Scientifically speaking, the existence of such a stone isn't possible. It's entirely within the realm of fiction. Yet, with how fast news travels, many have been compelled to believe that these electric stones have indeed been discovered. While these stones would address problems nationwide, these vibranium stones are most likely elaborate hoaxes. Number 2. Mountain gorillas. Mountain gorillas are one of the subspecies of the eastern gorilla. They're larger and furrier than their lowland cousins, adaptations that help them survive in the colder temperatures of high-altitude forests. These incredible creatures are found in 2 main areas, the Virunga Mountains, which stretch across the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, and Uganda's Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. And trust me, mountain gorillas are creatures you wouldn't want to encounter in the wild. Mountain gorillas are incredibly social beings, living in groups led by a dominant silverback, a mature male who makes all the group decisions from movement to conflict mediation. If that silverback sees you as a threat, it can easily take you down. However, no creature is more formidable than mankind. No matter how ferocious mountain gorillas are, they're no match for humans. In fact, the population of mountain gorillas in the Congo has dwindled alarmingly, putting them on the brink of extinction since the 1980s. However, thanks to intensive conservation efforts, including anti-poaching patrols and veterinary interventions, their numbers have been slowly increasing, mainly in captivity. Number 1. Dingan. Now here's another cryptid, and this time it's much more monstrous. Imagine a being with the body of a massive scaly fish, the head of a saber-toothed tiger, and a tail like that of a crocodile. This is allegedly what the Dingan looks like. Can you imagine encountering that on a river expedition? The Dingan first came into public consciousness thanks to the accounts of British explorer John Alfred Jordan in the early 20th century. Jordan claimed to have seen the creature and described it as the god of the river. According to the explorer, he even tried to slay the beast, but its 14-foot-long body was almost resistant to his weapons. This encounter sparked interest in this particularly legendary creature's existence. Many have tried to get a glimpse of this elusive creature, yet to this day, no one has ever succeeded. But what could the Dingan be? There are several theories. Some suggest it might be an exaggerated account of a real animal like a large monitor lizard. Others, however, believe that perhaps Jordan weaved a tale from folklore or drew inspiration from prehistoric creatures. While the platypus was once believed to be a taxidermy hoax, we recently found out that this alleged cryptid is a real being. So, at this point, nothing is impossible. But until we find tangible evidence about the Dingan's existence, it will remain as nothing but an imaginary creature. The Democratic Republic of the Congo truly is a diverse country, but which of these discoveries did you find the most unbelievable? Let me know in the comments down below. Also check out other cool videos showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.